So you probably know why you're here today, because the Oscars are on tonight. And right now, I'll be ranking every single Best Picture nominee from the worst to the best. So, let's get right into it. We return. Now, the Oscars are such fun. You know, you start cheering on a movie that you really like, and if it doesn't win, you're really angry because you really think that movie deserves it. But for right now, we're talking about some of these movies, and you might not agree with me, which I know. It's okay. There's some people that don't agree with me, some that I don't agree with them. So, starting us off, because there are 9 nominations, starting us off at number 9, we have Parasite. Now, I know. So many people think this movie's awesome. This is the best movie of the year, and it will win Best Picture. I'll actually try if this wins Best Picture. This movie is almost as bad as Cats. And I know. People are probably like, what did you just say? I know, this film is amazing, isn't it? Not to me. I think this film is just absolute trash. Like, I know there's some scenes in it that actually show, like, that they're parasites, like the poor people are the parasites, and that final thing where it just starts stabbing everyone, that was, like, the exciting part, but it wasn't really a thriller, and it didn't agree with me. Like, this whole movie kind of stunk because it was about these poor people breaking into rich people's homes because they think they're poor, but they're not as poor as most people in Korea, North Korea, or wherever. Because think about it, they have a home, they have a toilet, they have a table. I know they don't have seats, but they at least can eat. I don't think they have a table actually, but they can at least eat. They even have windows. Some people are living on the streets. You know, these guys actually have a home. Comparing it to most other people, no. And I know so many people think, oh wow, this is a great film. Definitely love this film. Not for me. I don't really like this film. And I thought this film would be about like diseases and that stuff. I was wrong. This film is not about diseases. This is just, oh my god, it's about poor people wanting to live like rich people, but the rich people earned it. Those guys are just trying to take jobs, and oh my god, it gets out of hand. It's just not a movie I would recommend if you're into like other films. Like, I don't know what people are thinking. I hope this doesn't win. But moving on to number 8, we have Little Woman. Now, this film I haven't actually watched. This is the only film on here I haven't watched. Moving on to number 7, we have Ford vs. Ferrari. Now, Ford vs. Ferrari is Christian Bale, Matt Damon in Ford vs. Ferrari. That's mostly what the movie is. I know a lot of people like this movie. I'm not sure it's gonna win anything. I really like this one too. It's a good movie. But, you know, it's kind of shystery that other dude won when Christian Bale slowed down for him. Like, no. I was like a bit ticked off of that, but, you know, he handled it fine. I do like this movie, though. This is like 1970s, and it is a fun movie to watch. Like, it came out November 2019, November 15th. Just like the racing in this, like, I don't think it's gonna win for anything. Maybe sound editing, but you know, it's a really good movie though. I don't know what to say. Like, all the humor in this movie, it's really funny between Matt Damon and Christian Bale. Like, when they're fighting and Matt Damon punches a garbage can lid. Like, it actually gets to be. It's a fun movie. Like, really fun and funny. If you haven't seen this one, definitely watch this one. I know it's definitely one that everyone will like. But moving on to number 6, we have Marriage Story. Now, Marriage Story is a movie about Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and it's about marriage, right? It's about divorce, sorry, not marriage. And they're just getting divorced, and it's quite sad, this movie. But I don't know the director of it, but he gets a lot of humor in this movie, because it's not just like it's a sad movie to watch. Like, if it was really sad, I would just stop watching. But I did watch this one, and I think this movie is a really it's still sad, but it's kind of a funny movie at the same time. There's a little bit of humor, but it's sad to see them getting separated, because I know Adam Driver in this movie wanted to go trick-or-treating with his kid, but he was too tired to go trick-or-treating where Adam Driver lives. It's not like there's many houses that do trick-or-treating, so it's kind of sad to see that. But it leaves on a high note, I would say, at the end, where what's her name, Scarlett Johansson ties Adam Driver's shoe because he didn't know how in this movie. It explains that inside of the movie, and it leaves on a high note, because Adam Driver is, he might find someone else in this, but they're not going to make a second one. So I wouldn't say this movie would be very interesting for a lot of people, but if you're into movie criticizing and reviewing movies, and you love movies, yeah, definitely watch this one. It's a nice film. Moving on to number 5, we have The Irishman. Now, The Irishman is an excellent film. I do love this movie. 3 hours and 40 minutes of Martin Scorsese's. Funny. Got some great actors, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. Those two guys were in The Godfather, if you haven't seen that one. But The Irishman is, about Robert De Niro as Frank, who's a mafia. No, he's part of the mafia, and he just shoots people after a while. It gets sad because he just kills all of them, and then he doesn't have anybody at the end of the movie. Like, Joe Pesci eventually dies, and his daughters don't want to talk to him because he was always going out killing people. It's really sad to actually watch, because he's been so bad in his life that no one wants to visit him around Christmas time, and he leaves the door open an inch so he can see if anyone is coming for him. It's really sad because doesn't have anyone, and I didn't expect that at the end, but some movies don't end with a happy ending. But Martin Scorsese is a great director. This movie is if you're into those mafia type Godfather movies, this movie is definitely for you. But I'm sad to say that this movie will probably not win any awards. That's the thing, because it just hasn't won anything. Maybe visual effects, because it did a lot of hard stuff with the face, but other than that, I don't think it's going to win very much or anything in general. But this movie is a really good movie, and I definitely recommend this one. It's just it's a long movie, 3 hours and 40 minutes. Long movie. Moving on to number 4, Joker. Now, Joker is just a whole new comic book movie. We haven't seen anything like this. Well, except Logan, that was a bit like this. But with Joker, we haven't seen anything like this before. This was a whole new thing, because it's so dark, so drama-y, just so many things in Joker that I don't know what to say about it. I do really love this movie though. Oh my god, I don't know what to say. Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, he is just a god. He is great as the Joker. I'm gonna say this, he's probably one of the best Jokers. Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix are the best Jokers. I'm excited for Joker 2, you know, like this one was really got to me, you know, best comic book movie of the year, really good movie, really recommend it, definitely go see this one. Moving on to number 3, but before I tell you what it is, I just want to say, all these movies except Parasite, I really enjoyed, and I really hope that one of these wins Best Picture, except for Parasite. So, moving on to number 3 though, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Leonardo DiCaprio wanting to do more as an actor than just being a cowboy. And Brad Pitt's his stuntman. You know, I don't know what Margaret Robbie's supposed to do in this movie, but, you know, this movie really got to me because I do like to make homemade movies, and I think this movie is sort of showing what it's like to make movies and what it was like back in 1969. I just think that is, like, incredible how they did that. Quentin Tarantino is a great director, and, you know, he mashed it up with humor, some action, some, you know, it's sort of a Western. This movie holds a lot inside of it, and I really think this movie is good. Sadly, I know it's not going to win a single thing. Like, Brad Pitt will win Best Supporting Actor, of course, but it's not going to win anything else. I'm sorry to say, but, you know, this movie's a good movie. A really good movie. I really do like this, but it won't win anything. Well, we're down to bottom 2. Well, moving on, though, we are on 1917. Now, 1917 is a film about these two soldiers who had to cross, I don't know where they had to cross, sorry, I said to cross twice, but they had to cross across the battlefield of the Germans, and they got to deliver a message to the main character's brother, one of the main characters, and they eventually do, but one of the main characters doesn't make it because, you know, just so happens. But this movie just really gets to you, you know, like, this movie's so good. It makes you think it's done in one shot, but it isn't. It's not done in one shot. I really think this film is good. I think this is one of my favorite films of all time. Like, oh my God, like, Benedict Cumberbatch was in this movie. I thought this movie was so good. I can't wait till it comes on DVD, because you know I'm gonna watch this movie again and again. I want to show everyone this movie because this movie is great. I definitely recommend this movie because it is one of the best movies of this year. It is so damn good. But moving on to number 1, we have Jojo Rabbit. Now, I know a lot of people have this, like, yeah, this is on their, like, movies of 2019, but it's not, like, on top 10 or anything. For me, it definitely is. This movie got to me. You know, this movie is so good, has humor, it shows you what happens in the war, and I just think that is absolutely incredible, and I don't know how they did that. It is just so good. Taika Waititi wasn't even nominated for Best Director, like, at least for screenplay, but not for Best Director, and I am so surprised, and I am so sad because this guy is a genius. Like, come on now. Taika Waititi is one of the best directors, like, probably my favorite director of all time. I really want to meet this dude. Like, he's awesome, and I support him. I'll go see any one of his movies in theaters. Jojo Rabbit is great. You have so many actors. Roman Griffin Davis, Taika Waititi, of course, Archie Yachts as Yoki, Scarlett Johansson, Sam Rockwell, Stephen McCannon or whatever, Rebel Wilson, like, I'm sorry if I forget anyone else, but so many people in this movie, and I just love it so much. Oh, sorry, Thomasin McKenzie as the girl in the attic, right? But this movie is so good, and I know it's not going to win Best Picture, but it truly, truly should. I hope you win Best Adapted Screenplay, though, Taika Waititi. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like, because that has been me ranking all 9 nominees for Best Picture of the Oscars.